All right, Shalom. Give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakach, Kodash. Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah. Give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the leaders of Israel. Say Shalom to the sincere Akwathium, the sincere brothers and sisters that's listening. Shalom and Shalom to the electors out there that's enduring and teaching His truth. That's out there on highways and byways. Shalom. Today is what they call MLK today, Martin Luther King Jr. So through the Spirit, I just wanted to just bring out this article and pull a few scriptures, and Lord willing, this is edifying. Because everybody, well, yeah, not everybody, but a lot of our people, they think Martin Luther King, give reverence to this guy. You know what I mean? And that people say that he's done a lot for us. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to just get this article. This article is 5 years ago. It says Our Common Ground. And the main quote at the top, it says, I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house. Martin Luther King Jr. He feared that he have integrated his people into a burning house. Why? What was his main objective when he was doing what he was doing? To integrate us. That word integrate means to join together, bring the pieces together. So he wanted to bring so-called white people and so-called black people together, so we can be so-called equal in this society, that's contrary to the scriptures. Like it says in Deuteronomy, we are holy people, we was made special, so we're different from all people on the face of the earth. Roughly paraphrasing, I'm gonna get to the scriptures, but he made us separate, and this guy, he did the total opposite to the scriptures. So that's ultimately why the Lord ultimately put this guy to death, through these Edomites, and when he woke up, he realized he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So let me read this a little bit. It says, Harry Belafonte speaks on last conversation between him and MLK. It says, midway through the civil rights movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. realized that the struggle for integration will ultimately become a struggle for economic rights. You see? So this ultimately going to be a struggle for economic rights, and it's right. We going through hell right now, and it's going to stay this way, until Yahweh Shah makes his second coming, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Until he makes his second coming, we're going to continue to struggle for these economic rights. It says, I remember the last time we were together at my home shortly before he was murdered. He seemed quite agitated and preoccupied. And I asked him what the problem was. I've come upon something. This is Martin Luther King. He was saying, I've come upon something that disturbs me deeply, he said. We have fought hard and long for integration, as I believe we should have, and I will know that we will win. Salakia. And I know that we will win, but I've come to believe we're integrating into a burning house, because he, that's how he is a Jake, really, because his spirit was dealing with him, though. The spirit was dealing with him, knowing that he's doing something wrong. He had to have waken up to this truth, you know what I'm saying, but it was too little too late, too late, I should say. You know what I'm saying? He had to have woken up to some knowledge, that we ought to be separate. And he realized that he fucked up pretty much. You know, I'm gonna keep reading. It says that statement took me aback. It was the last thing I would have expected to hear, considering the nature of our struggle, and I asked him what he meant. And Martin Luther King said, I'm afraid that America may be losing what moral vision she may have had. He answered, and I am afraid that even as we integrate, we are we are walking into a place that does not seem that this nation needs to be deeply concerned with the plight of the poor and disenfranchised. Let me read that again. And I'm afraid that even as we integrate, we are walking into a place that does not that that does not understand that this nation needs to be deeply concerned with the plight of the poor and disenfranchised. Right? Until we commit ourselves to ensuring that the underclass is giving justice and opportunity, we will continue to perpetuate the anger and violence that tears at the soul of this nation. Because the white man, so-called white man, they can't understand the struggle. You know what I mean? They don't understand how, how they don't understand how bad that the poor needs help. You know what I'm saying? Let me read that again because this is pretty good. It says, and I'm afraid that even as we integrate, we are walking into a place that does not understand that this nation needs to be deeply concerned with the plight of the poor and disenfranchised. Because they don't care about the hood. The so-called black people, we still live like trash in this so-called 2019. We've been here in America for over 400 years, and we still live like trash. You know what I'm saying? So and the so-called white man, he's not concerned with that. He doesn't give a damn. Donald Trump, these so-called white men never cared. They never care. You know what I'm saying? The Rothschilds, they got enough money to feed everybody in this land and still be the part of the richest. But they don't do that. It says, until we commit ourselves to ensuring that the underclass is given justice and opportunity, we will continue to perpetuate the anger and violence that tears at the soul of this nation. Right. So until to these Rothschilds, so they give everybody their piece of the pie, you know what I'm saying? Even the meek, the underclass, the poor, us. This us as a nation, we still gonna have these tears, and that's still going on today. We still got our people being shot down by police. Police are shooting down our people and getting away innocently. Our cries go down daily, and they don't give a damn. Like it says in the scriptures, Zechariah 11:5, they hold themselves guiltless, roughly paraphrasing, and I'm going to just read this. I'm going to just finish this off, then I'm going to get into the scriptures. It says, I fear I am integrating my people into a burning house. Because he know that he must have finally realized the so-called white man, they don't give a damn about us. You know what I mean? Dr. King said the above statement to Harry Belafonte in a conversation they had before his death. Belafonte, startled at the statement, said to him, "What should we do?" What should we do? Dr. King told him that we become the firemen. Let us not stand by and let the house burn. So I, I'm assuming he wanted to put out the fire. So, and it said on the flip side of that, you have a speech by Malcolm X. It was entitled "The House Negro and the Field Negro." He spoke about how the house Negro loved the master more than he loved himself. And if the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would try to put the fire out. On the other hand, you have the field Negro. The field Negro hated the master and despised his very existence. If the master's house were to catch on fire, the field Negro would pray for a strong wind to come along. And it says, here you have two black thoughts that are on opposite sides of the spectrum. The feelings are as true today as they were when both of these statements were proclaimed in the mid '60s. You know, and who's the field Negroes today? Through the Spirit, those are the Hebrew Israelites. And who's the house Negroes? The 2/3. You know what I'm saying? You know, but this is Martin Luther King. He was prophesied in the scriptures. Jeremiah 23:25, it says, "I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed." That was Martin Luther King's famous speeches. I have a dream, I have a dream. You know what I'm saying? And he prophesied lies. You know, he had a dream that whites and black we'll be together, we'll join together, we'll have the same education, and all this, but the so-called white man, they're not going to do that for us. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to take care of the poor, because they too greedy for their money. So how long, and it's read verse 26, how long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yeah, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart. So he was ultimately set up, and so-called Jewish people, they wrote his speeches, so he was ultimately set up and brainwashed, you know what I'm saying? And he was leaning on his own heart. Verse 27, it says, "Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal." So he further scattered the sheep. Some people come in that same spirit today. We all human. We need to just come together. We're all one nation under God. You know what I'm saying? They all come with that same energy as Martin Luther King. And he led our sheep astray. Our people, they love Martin Luther King. The people that don't know the truth, really, they love Martin Luther King. They think that we should all be together as one nation. But this way, Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, Deuteronomy 7:6, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power." Holy means separate. So we are a separate people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. So we are special unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And in this verse, it says, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So we're above all people. Our people hate that. They hate to hear that. And that's because of who? Because of Martin Luther King, that spirit, that through the spirit of him proclaiming that we should all come together, and all this, our people, by him saying that and him having the energy he had, he's led our people to think that, we're not all, we're all one, and so-called Black Hispanics and Native Americans, it's impossible that we're above all people, because look at the state that we're in, you know. So by Martin Luther King declaring what he declared, that we should all come together, having that spirit, our people can't see these scriptures. Ultimately they blinded by a Heavenly Father, but the Heavenly Father, he also used Martin Luther King to further blind to 2/3, ultimately. You know? Read verse 6 again. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? The Lord's chose us, man. And we ought to be happy for that. Let me just get another precept. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Okay, so we above all nations upon the earth. We was chosen to be a special people unto himself. But our people, damn, our people, I can't get it. I don't know. Thwada Yahweh Shem Yahushua for the awakening, to know that we are Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We're part of God's chosen people. We're the prince of the power. Yasha Allah. I wanted to get another one. So I could yeah, I'm gonna just get this. I was gonna get another one. I forgot it. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt, America, symbolic for America, house of bondage. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. See, no man shall buy you. Redeem us. No man is going to redeem us. Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, none of these false prophets, they not prophets, they not fulfilling it. They fulfill no prophecy to lead our people. They fill the prophecy of the false prophets, of these demons. You know what I'm saying? But they're not fulfilling these prophecies to bring our people to the true power, to Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. They're not doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna just get this. Isaiah 1 verse 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. We don't consider that we serve the power, we serve the Almighty of the power, and we serve that power, and that power is only for us. It's only for one certain nation of people. They don't consider that. They don't know, and they don't consider, because the so-called white man, the Edomites, they've polluted the minds of the Israelites. That's why the yoke of iron is not around our neck no more, because we're destroyed mentally. We don't know who we are. That's being destroyed because we don't know who we are, and the ultimate purpose of us being in this human body, in America, this captivity, The purpose of this being our captivity is to wake up to who we are. You know, that's the only reason why we're here, to wake up who we are, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and have the so-called white man being taken down from his kingdom. You know, that's pretty much a summary of what life is all about. You know, serving the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, having faith in the power, and seeing the so-called white man get put down. You know, just like Moses, he said, "Let my people go, man." You know, that's what we saying now. You know, let us go. You know, we crying out to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. You know, and we almost out of here. You know, Lord willing, is this year. Um, I wanted to see if I can get one more verse. Um, yeah, I'll just get this one, Lord willing, then I'll close out. I'm gonna close out with this. Proverbs 11:21 says, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." You know, so although Martin Luther King, he wanted us to join hand with the so-called white man, you know, the wicked, they won't go unpunished, you know. And for you coons out there, the wicked, they won't go unpunished. You know, you want to save the Edomites, you know, all these other bug out camps. Save the Edomites. They can be grafted in. You know, the Lord, he doesn't change. Malachi 3:6, if I'm not mistaken, the Lord, he changed not. You know, it says, Salakia, Proverbs 11:21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. You know, the seed of the righteous, Israel, we're going to be delivered. You know, the elect, not all Israel, the elect and the 1/3. You know, and the white man is going to go into slavery. Let me get that. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1 says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids." You know, so we're going to possess these other nations, and they're going to be servants and handmaids. They're going to be pretty much our slaves, really. "And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were." So we were captive, and we're going to take them captive. You know, "And they shall rule over their oppressors." Who's our oppressors today for the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans? The so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? And we have confusion of faces out there too. You know, people that look like these Edomite nations, but they're really Israelites too. You're going to be ruling over your oppressors. You know, I'm going to read verse 3 and I'm going to close. "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve." See, we serving in that hard bondage right now. You know, we got to get up and go to work. You know, we got to do all these hard, rigorous activities, you know, just to pay bills, you know, and then do it all over again. You know, I'm going to get verse 4, though. It says, "That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased." You know, so Babylon is America, you know. So that's what we're going to be saying. damn, Babylon went down. You know what I'm saying? You know, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. You know, because 2/3 of our people, they can't see America going down the drain because they think this is the golden city. You know, and but the 1/3 of the elect, we know that that we being oppressed right now. You know, but 2/3 they do what? They trust in oppression. You know, they want to have this Martin Luther King spirit all come together. You know, but that's contrary to the scriptures. Um, I'm not going to take too long on this. Lord willing, you got the point. You know, Martin Luther King, he was not for us. You know, he did nothing good for the Israelites, and he realized that he fucked up, and that's why he made that quote. You know, what was that quote? I'm gonna just read it one more time. He said, "I fear I am integrating my people into a burning house." So he feared that he was bringing us together to a burning house, and that's what he did because now what our people are really destroyed now. They think that we all belong together, but we don't. The Lord set us on high to be a holy nation. Holy means separate, and the Lord willing, this was edifying to somebody. We'll close out, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Wahal Rakak Wadash, Brakta Yahushua, Brakta Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the leaders of Israel. Shalom to the sincere Akim.